All right, here's a quick demo of a community action web page. So this is a web page created for community action of Skagit. And first thing you note is that we've got a number of different sections of content that needs to be filled out. Also, there's an English-Spanish control here. As opposed to something like Google Translate, this is specifically dictated by the client. The client chose exactly what they wanted their verbiage to be. I'll go through here, make some selections, go ahead and choose some of these. And then here, you can see that it doesn't let me keep typing, so it's automatically formatting this. Just put something in there. I don't know how old that is. Now here is another dynamic section. So these first sections are just different areas of things you could build into a form. We showed a little bit of conditionality and control. Also on the phone number, we pre-formatted that. So we've got this next section here, other household information. This is an interesting one. I'm going to type in Jim, Jay, Johnny, we'll do brother. Something like that. Collage. There we are. Now add a household member. This duplicates the entire section here. Sister. You can see this is smart fill. And you could keep adding household members as you go. Now here I could choose no household incomes, but we'll put some in. Something like that. And then here I'm going to hit submit. Notice that it's catching that I didn't fill something out. Choose one of these. And I could submit this back. Now this first step of the submission, this is finishing here. This is a reference point, but this is thank you for your submission. We look forward to assisting with your energy needs. This is the web portion. Once the web portion is done, this goes back and creates a mobile form. And the way we get to that is we come over here to capture on the go. Now this looks like the same exact form, right? But if I exit here, I can go to my library and I've got a bunch of different forms available. Okay. If I choose this one here, and you can see I've got roughly the same information. This is not the exact same form, but again, in this, it is the same HTML, but the one I just submitted went to our test login. So this is a similar one, but essentially you can see it's pre-filled with the data that I entered before. This is a mobile device now, so this is compressible. It adjusts based on how much space there is. So I'm going to keep scrolling down here, and you can see, roughly speaking, I've got the same information filled out. Now what's really important is that down here there's a new section, this household benefits. You can see I've got a little highlight on the edge of this. This was not in here before. This one only gets filled out once it's been submitted back to the workflow. So there's a conditional sections. That's a lot. Let's just say something like that. And then here's something similar. And now here's another new section I wanted to reference. So in this one, when I hit these drop downs, you can see it's letting me choose from the previously entered ones. Now these are different than what you saw me enter a moment ago, but that's just because I pulled up the available form. So if I scroll back up, you can see where these ones came from. So here's Mike and Alley Cat, right? And then my first one being Peter Andrews. So sorry for the scrolling. There you are. So this information that's been filled out, if I choose this, when I select this, notice that these values are changing. See that? So this is pre-populating from the data up above. I can also choose different values here, and it's retallying my total numbers. That's because I have different choices that affect the percentage. This adjusted gross income, this is 100%, but if I go back up and choose earned, so it's 80% now. And then I can add another income if I want. Let's say this one's Mike's income, right? So it fills out his info. Let's say this is unemployment taxed, and then I'm going to put, there you go, something like this. Maybe it's the same every month, right? Now this is like 90% of the original, and then I can tell it what type of document it is. And this is again just an example of a form that we created, and then it's tallying these as well. So there's 2 of these, and it's tallying those. Then I can additionally choose other content down here, whatever else needs to be filled out. And then I'm going to capture a signature. There, this guy. It's like a tadpole or something. All right, and then I'll put an email in. And then this household number ID is to help link things up. I also have another conditional form. If I say add EAP line of credit, this is not always needed, but if I click here, it opens up another form section that I may or may not need. Say the account user applicant's name. Yes or no. Say no in this case. And then I could fill this out. Yes, and then I can get some more signatures. That guy, and then there you go. And then here I can submit this. I can also say this is household income form, right? Now when I do this submission, it's telling me it's trying to send my data back. This exclamation point is telling me it's trying to connect to the server. If the server is available, it will transmit the data back and create a PDF output, which I'll show you in a moment. If it does not, then it will wait until it gets a connection. So this can be used where you're transmitting across the internet. It can be used transmitting across a VPN to control how you're sending and who has access to the files. If you want to stay on a VPN, that's another way you could do it. The other would be to set yourself up so that you're not on a VPN or on the internet, and you only transmit the data back when you get back to the office. So there's a couple ways you can go with that. Once you get a connection, we'll pull up the example output. So we go to a local folder. When it comes back to the server, we create some PDF output, And I don't have an exact one coming back right now, obviously. But this is an example of what the PDF output looks like. You can see we add in signatures of whatever was captured. This is that household member table that we got. It can have a variable number of people. So when there's, in this case there was 3. If there had been 5, this would have like overflowed onto another page. And then this last part over here is another page of household income output. Let's look at the most complete one. So here's another example here. And we just create the output to match whatever it needs to be, essentially. If you already have PDFs of output that ideally have the backgrounds you want, we just drop it right onto that. In this case, for the client, we needed to create multiple overflowing tables, which is the red tables here, essentially. So this can be highly dynamic as well. It just depends on what the client needs. So hope you like this demo. Let me know if you have additional questions. Thank you.